Have you seen videos like this? Or maybe something like this. And things like this. Yeah, anyways, I wanted to make a game that combined all of these concepts into one. This is the start of my new game I call Terminal Stability. In this game, you'll spawn in as a stick figure. You have an arsenal of weapons, tools, and gear, which you'll use to defend your core. After defending a few waves, you'll be sent into a random liminal space where you can get upgrades, teammates, gear, weapons, and more. Once done, you'll be sent back to defend the core against more waves of enemies, and the loop repeats. The core is what keeps all the liminal realms from collapsing and blending into one another. Every enemy that comes is drawn from one of these realms, and are working together to destroy the core. To them, the core is a parasite draining their worlds, and you are the last obstacle standing in their way. All the concepts of this game are based off of aesthetics such as weirdcore, dreamcore, angelcore, backrooms, liminal spaces, fruitier arrow, webcore, liminal core, and a lot more. And with that out of the way, let's now create this game. First off, we obviously need to create our player. Now, the reason I wanted to go with the stick figure is because, well, I love stick figures. Anyway, I've also seen the random videos by Snaptic, and I still have no idea what's happening in them. It kind of reminds me of the fruitier arrow people, and because it's supposed to look like a liminal weirdcore type game, I also added a filter on the camera to make it look pixelated. And boom, now we have the player. After giving him some quick animation, this is what it looks like. But the camera, I just took Roblox's camera system, tweaked it a bit, and added it to the game. Shift lock, third person, and first person all work. And I did this because I really like the feel of it, and it allows any type of player to enjoy the game how they want to. Next, let's create a sword, because how else is he going to defend the core? After animating it myself, it looks Bro, what even is that? Yeah, okay, anyway. Now the sword looks somewhat good, and has 3 attack animations, 2 slashes, and 1 pierce. Now that the sword looks fine, I decided to work on the core itself. This took a lot of time to make because of the shaders and the script, but now the core is a ferrofluid blob, which honestly it took a long time and I like it a lot, so I'm going to keep it like this for the time being until I have another idea for it, but yeah. And just looking around the map, it looks really boring. There's nothing here. So I decided to take inspiration from Ultrakill. In Ultrakill's limbo levels, the level give off a vibe like you're on Earth but also not. Like the trees are fake, the speakers play bird sounds, and when you get too close to the walls, they're actually just screens. So I decided to do is create a system that spawns in random sky panels. Each of them have a chance to become staticky, black, or they glitch out or have the wrong color. And now, the world looks really lively, even though it's just artificial. Now that we have the basics of this game complete, let's add in some enemies. I've always been interested in procedural animation. The idea is that you animate a character using physics and math. It allows you to create some pretty cool designs and gameplay. With this new system in place, I created a 4-legged walker. For lower reasons I won't state in this video, the name of this enemy is Stillness. And when you get too close to it, it shoots you with a blast of static, launching you in the air while doing a lot of damage. But what is a game if you only have a ranged enemy? Using the same inverse kinematics system I created, I made the enemy aggregate. I'll model it eventually, but it's a moving massive void. When it gets close enough to the player, the blocks will aggregate together and form a giant claw, which will attack the player. Both of these enemies took a very long time to create, purely because I had to learn procedural animation, so I decided to create something different. One of the liminal realms I was talking about. And what better realm to start off with other than the backrooms? The hardest part of creating this system is the walls. Instead of just creating the map by hand, I wanted it to be different every time the user enters the world, so that way it's not boring. And this requires procedural generation, where the walls would create themselves randomly. This is the system I decided to do. The floor would be divided into grids, and each grid has a chance to spawn a wall. Once all these walls have been spawned in, they will grow in a random direction, and the more they grow, the higher the chance they have of creating another wall that spawns in perpendicular to the current wall. And this new wall does the exact same. However, if there's a wall in front of them while they're growing, then the script will stop for that wall, and this creates the entranceways. Putting it into action, this is what it looks like. For some reason, it doesn't work as well as I thought, as you could see some of the walls spawn within each other. But honestly, I'm happy enough with this system, and when you're playing it, it does actually feel like you're in the Backrooms. Obviously, I need to change the lighting a bit, but yeah. But now I wanted to create some new enemies so I could finally start playtesting the game more. This game is supposed to be based off of aesthetics, and I wanted to make a weirdcore enemy. Searching up weirdcore brings up some cool concepts, but I like this one the most. Using it as a reference, I created a simple sprite sheet of her and added it to the game. I call her Flower Girl, and she is a ranged enemy. She shoots out rainbow flowers that deal moderate damage to you. Continuing off this concept, I added a melee enemy called the Smiley. It has that weird yellow smiley face thing that was everywhere back in the day, and it swings its sword at you when you get too close. And boom! Now this game is coming together nicely. Oh yeah, and the way to tell the tier of the enemy is via the symbol to start. 1 slash meaning lowest tier, 2 slashes meaning second lowest, and so on. But now let's create another realm, and this one I call Webcore. Essentially, this world is supposed to represent the World Wide Web back in the 2000s with Windows XP, scary computer viruses, things like that. I obviously need to add more because it's a bit barren, but that's for... Wait, who's that? Yep, that's right. I added Clippy. This is one of the teammates that you can hire from this world. He has 2 attacks. He can perform a whirlwind combo that damages all enemies within his range, and a sniper attack where he shoots his eye. Along with Clippy, in the world I added 2 gears. Shortcut.lnk and dial hook. Shortcut.link is a reference to the shortcuts on your desktop that, when clicked, will bring you to the app the shortcut is linked to. To pair this concept in the game, when you press a keybind, it will teleport you to the spot where your mouse cursor is at, albeit a medium range so it's not too overpowered. The dial hook is a reference to old dial-up phones that were used before the modern phone came out. I basically made it a grappling hook, and it's really fun to use. In the future, I want each world to be randomly generated with random things in it, so it's not the same every time. But because I'm still not so sure about what to add to this game, I'll be putting this off to the side for now, and I'll work on the wave defense aspect. What is the most liminal thing you could think of? The Backrooms? No. It's a gun. Yeah, that's right. I added guns to the game. So far, I got a pistol that could shoot in 3-round bursts, and an assault rifle that has moderate spread but does a lot of damage. But now the game is too easy, so I decided to add in 3 more higher tier enemies and finally 1 boss. The first enemy I created is Mirage. It's a fast moving enemy that has ranged weapon resistance, but takes a lot of damage from melee attacks. When it reaches its target, it will spawn a clone, or a mirage if you will, at its location before teleporting back in time to where it was 2 seconds ago. After a moment, the clone will perform its attack while the actual mirage is in cooldown, and that's when you can attack it the easiest. Next, I added CRT Knight, a slow but tanky enemy. He has a greatsword and a cape, and has a CRT computer as a face. He can perform a 3-hit combo on its targets, and getting too close to it almost guarantees getting hit by the sword because of its huge range, so staying back and using range attacks is probably the best strategy. And this enemy I added is very weird, but I call him the Fallen Monument. It has a statue for a head surrounded by 6 devil horns that kinda make it look like someone, and it also has angel wings. It has a lot of health, and it attacks by slamming the ground. If any enemy or teammate is low and is close enough to it, the Fallen Momentum will snatch them, beat them up, and then throw their corpse as a high damage projectile. And to end off this first devlog, I also added my first boss, which I call Verdantia. Bosses are denoted via the exclamation points instead of the slashes. She has high HP and speed, and uses a vine as a melee weapon. She has 3 abilities, and I'll probably add more in the future, but this is what I have for now. She could summon a large flower creature which acts as a strong sniper that's planted in the ground. Secondly, she can spawn a seed above her target, which does a lot of damage, if not dodged. Finally, she can create a lily that spawns low tier enemies in. And combining this together, the game is actually pretty fun already. But that's gonna finish for this devlog. If you want more content related to this or want to give feedbacks or suggestions, please join my Discord server and subscribe, because I'll be posting sneak peeks and gameplay randomly, and thank you so much for watching.